Hey guys, Spectral Draws back again. After a extremely long time, worried about my drawing software because I thought everything would explode on me. But it's all good. I was still able to manage here and there, and we're back. And I did a little warm up sketch about something that I found really cool. Today, which I guess this would be a continuation of the Invincible content so far I've had on this channel, but I wanted to specifically show this, which was fan art of basically more fan art and fan stuff, which is pretty interesting, but it was such a cool idea that I thought I should indulge in it. So I was drawing quote unquote GTA Mark, which is pretty much this big fan thing where it's basically a fan mark variant. I know the obsession with mark variants is pretty crazy. I mean, people are already asking where are the mark variants for show watchers, and when it comes to comic book readers and even TikTok readers, people cannot stop referencing them. So I think it's pretty clear that the fandom would make more things referencing this. And another thing that kind of comes up is just how much people reference that Cecil does not use his resources well enough, or what if Mark was just always in agreement with Cecil. But I think the specific variation, which most people have agreed on, that he was taken in by Cecil, which I think is a pretty interesting take. They do kind of make things a little overpowered, but it wouldn't be fan content if things weren't broken. But this Mark is absolutely broken, which is why in this art I wanted to depict him standing over a dead Viltrumite, because I don't know, it kind of just makes sense for the vibe they wanted to go here. And the design that people mocked up or they've drawn before, it's really cool, and I thought it would be something really cool to draw, which is also another outfit that I think is kind of, I'd say, better than his blue outfit, even though it's fan made. But it was a different take on Invincible, and I thought it was really fun to draw, especially coming back to art after a little small break. So I got to do a pretty cool environment, and I tried to mix a lot of the styles that I was doing together, and I wasn't really a big fan of how it turned out. Um, and you can tell I'm a little rusty because I kind of rushed the process a little bit. This whole process was only about like 3 hours or so. So when I actually got to it, um, dude, my anatomy was kind of jacked here. Like I don't know what was going on. I was kind of going for it. I was having fun. It was more of kind of like a warm up because I'm going to be probably drawing a lot to catch up with the about week or two time span I didn't draw at all. So yeah, I did want to put battle damage on him. Yeah, sorry if I'm jumping a little bit back and forth here. I'm just kind of yapping, but I did want to put some battle damage on him here because I didn't want to make him, like, I know he's invincible, but hey, it's not invincible if he doesn't have a little blood on him. And then this was my first time. Well, I wouldn't say my first time, but uh, this is something I want to practice more as well. As you can see, I was just kind of winging it based on shadows and lighting. I'm like, I'm gonna try to make water, and I mean, you can tell it's water, but like, it doesn't look like water. Like, it's water, but you know what I mean. But here I do the thing I always do. I add really dark shadows and erase to tell where the lighting is coming from. I did duplicate the layer here. I wanted to make the green stand out a little bit more. And then I just kind of erased the edges because that's the part I wanted to stand out. Then I started adding a little bit of blood into the water. Just a little tiny bit, just a little tiny bit. But then I kind of started going crazy with just extra details and stuff in general. Then I started adding the lighting here, and which I think was pretty fun. I'm not sure exactly what I wanted this to be. At first it was just gonna be like moonlight, but then I quickly changed it to like a helicopter light, which you'll see later on. Here I actually debated if I even wanted to add this and if I could have just kept the kept it simple with Mark, but here I added a dead Viltrumite, and yeah, he kind of got destroyed. I mean, if it's not invincible if a face doesn't get absolutely demolished. But I had a a decent amount of fun going through this. doing the pose here and having Mark standing over him victorious. And here's where I add the helicopter light, which I struggled with immensely, and it was because there was this layer I could not find that the light kept going over, but then I eventually figured it out, and we ended up finishing it. But yeah, this is basically about it. I just added some extra touches, cleaned up the edges, cleaned up some stuff that looked a little odd, that was a complete accident. I accidentally added a pattern. We don't talk about that, but that's the end. I added shadows here as well and finished up the Viltrumite. So we're continuing a little bit here. Then we have me just kind of, like I said, just fixing up stuff, adding extra details like the lights and stuff. Then I went in to add the title. I didn't want to try to do it myself because I know I would scuff it, so I wanted to keep it simple. So yeah, that's basically about it. I mean, like, I think it turned out pretty good, even though I'm not satisfied with everything, but hey, it's the process of learning art, and I think that's what makes it so fun. I kind of wish more people weren't embarrassed of their art and they would upload a little more to I don't know, it's just something that really inspires me whenever I see that there's other artists who look up to another artist, and you think they might be the best artist ever, and they look up to an artist that they believe is way better than them. But that's a whole other topic for another day, which might be interesting to explore. But if you stuck around, you wanted to see that short process, and you enjoyed the final product, leave a like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed.